Courthouse, walked straight across the street and got married. I had to pay for her divorce. And she got it. When she got the divorce, we went straight across the street and got married.
I brought you water. That's what I told you.
It'll give us, we'll just talk for a while, let that thing take effect on me, son.
Yeah. Did you ever keep a turtle shell, and what did you keep, or what did you not keep?
They never kept nothing about one except pictures. I've busted lots of them,
Lots of what?
loghead, for our own eating.
Would people fly down here to see you, and what were they doing coming to see you, and how were they getting here?
They flew in to buy a bottle.
How many other people in Mississippi messed with bottles at that time?
Oh, it got to be, and I started it. Everybody thought it crazy. 'Cause I'd go bottle digging, I'd dig bottles all day long from Hattiesburg, Law, places like that. And I had this yard. You couldn't walk for piles of bottles. Or I dug a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Mama thought we were going to starve to death. And I come in one evening. You might ought to get this on tape if you want something good. But anyhow, there was a man on his hands and knees with a coonskin hat on. And he was out here somewhere along right in there. And I seen where he had 4 or 5 bottles of him, 4 or 5 yonder and everything. And I drove up. Alice told me it was a man from Hattiesburg who wanted to buy some of the bottles. That's the first one I sold. And anyhow, there wasn't nobody else digging bottles. Nowhere in the state of Mississippi at that time. And anyhow, he asked me, he said he talked to my wife. I come out and met him. He asked me, was it for sale? I said, well, if the price was right. And I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know whether the bottle was worth nothing at all or whether it was 50 cents, a quarter, or what, you know. I just didn't know. He said, well, I got some piled up right here, said, and there's about 12 in it or something like that. He said, what about these right here? I said, well, make me an offer and we'll see. And I still didn't know what I was doing. And anyhow, he said, would you take $25 for them? And boy, you talking about, about fainting. I did. Because I had them I'd come out with 4 or 5 corn sackfuls of everything. And they were that 400 or 500 bottles. Anyhow, I sold them I sold them another, and I sold every one that I'd take. I said, treat me right on them. He says, I'm doing the best I can. I let him go, I didn't know. And I still don't know. And of course, I don't remember what bottle he got, you know. Because I got bottles in that shed right somewhere worth $350 like that right now. I can sell them. I ain't got a buyer for them like this, man. But anyhow, I mean, that's per bottle, too. Anyhow, set me on fire. And every evening, I kept one bottle hunting. And every evening when I get in, he'd be up in. He's a millionaire. And a lawyer at that. And I sold him hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of bottles. And Mama found out I wasn't quite as crazy as I thought it was. As she thought it was. And it wasn't but a little while till everybody began to hunt. But anyhow, I sold every bottle that I could get my hands on. I had people fly from Texas over him. I had them drive from Texas over him. And I had a bottle on a tin shed like that right there. Mama left that light plugged up. Anyhow, then I had the best collection of bottles there was in the state of Mississippi. I can show you that in black and white. And I had all the expensive bottles. I found out which bottle was which and so on down the line. And anybody in Mississippi, a Mississippi bottle, it worth more than one from Alabama or one from Georgia or somewhere else. Because Mississippi collectors will pay more, they collect Mississippi bottles. And then if you find them in law, for instance, people around law will pay more for a law bottle than they will, because they try to get every old bottle that law made. Now I got them in there. I got a Jones County collection, and that covered all of Jones County, Ellsworth, Law, and I got every bottle they made. And every one of them got writing on it. Some got the dates on. But it'll tell you what drugstore it was in and what soda pop. And soda pop, the old bottle had a blob top. And they had a wire with a gasket on the bottom. And that wire wouldn't go all the way down. And that film I was going to show you, it tells you about it. But that's the way soda pop got its name. You had to drink it over that wire. And they just rinsed it out, put a fruit flavored drink in there. And if you wanted orange, you got orange. If you wanted grape, you buy a grape. But you had that seltzer added to it. And you could get one hot and pop it, and it'd spew like nobody's business. You hit that wire on top. And when you did, you better get your mouth over the top of it. And then it'd blow you up. It'll come out your nose and your eyes and everywhere. It sure enough will. That seltzer in it, it's like you taking a hot Coca-Cola and shaking it, and then take the lid off of it, you know. You know how it spews. Except they put more seltzer in them, but anyhow they put it in there over this wire too. This wire was in the neck of it, but it had a big bubble at the top. It wouldn't go all the way down. You just pull it up, just seal it, and your gasket seal it from the bottom. And anyhow, they had to ride them upside down. You couldn't stack them on top of one another. One crate on top of the other, or somebody just fool around and bump one of them, all the peers leave it, and it'd be flat, you know. But that film I was telling you about explains all that too, you know.
Steve, how or why he started the interest to take the...
How did you come about starting with bottles, and what did you start with? What kind of item?
My sister come from Montana, and she was the first one that told me about it. She said over there they go to them old ghost town, mining town, and look for old bottles, old whiskey bottles and stuff. And so they bring a turn purple and all that, and she had 2 children, 2 boys. and a girl, but she wasn't big enough. And anyhow, she wanted me to take them bottle hunting. And I took them to an old sawmill place. And they found some, and I tickled them to death. So they done turned to dark purple. And anyhow, and them kind of bring more money if you're just collecting bottles. But if you're collecting pop bottles, it don't make a difference what color. Drink bottles or medicine bottles, you just collect medicine bottles, you know. Because you can't get them all. There ain't no way for nobody to get them all.
Tell me about the first loggerhead you ever saw, and what did you see? What kind of animal was it that you saw? Where was it?
First one I ever saw.
What was it that you saw? First what?
Loggerhead turtle I ever saw. D.C. Rayburn had found it, and he brought it back up here and showed it to me. And I was about 13 years old, something like that. And he was, well, at that time, he got married about that time. Married one of my cousins. And we looked at him, and that thing scared me to death. I said, Lord, I've been swimming and fishing in these creeks and everything. And there them things there in the creek. And then I'd caught some on hooks, but I didn't know it was in, had that many of them and impacted like that, these streams. All my growing up, swimming and everything, I didn't dawn on me. And that first time I realized it really when that man come up here from Bitley, from
What was your relationship to Bitley?
Well, he come up here because he heard they were turtles.
What was the man's name, and he came up here?
Bitley.
I know, but
Preacher Kelly.
Tell me the story.
Well, Preacher Kelly was a friend of mine, and he met Bitley down there. He moved to Louisiana, and he was telling Bit about the big bubble he'd see in the creek. He'd stop on the bridge and watch them walk. And he brought Bitley up here and took him to some other place or something. They come back by him, and I said, he telling me about how he found them. And I said, well, I've seen a million set of bubbles like that, but I didn't know what was down there. I didn't know nothing about that. He said, yeah. I said, you know where any of them like that making bubbles is? I said, yeah. So he wanted me to go with him. And he spent the night, and then he moved up here, him and his family in the house with us for, yeah. And I'd catch a turtle, me and him would go catch them, but I'd be the one gaffing them. Like I told you, he gaffed it 1, 2, 3 times and missed him because he wasn't used to this curling up in. And I got a hold to it, and I got to catching every one I'd find. Every bubble time we seen bubbles, I'd catch. So he put me to doing that, and he paddled a boat. And they stayed here, and we'd send a pickup load of a big pickup load too. His daughter would take them to Louisiana and sell them. But she was selling them for about 35 cents a pound, something like that. And anyhow, he got called back to Louisiana because he was in some kind of trouble. He got called back to Louisiana. And I kept things going. Then I found out about the price of it. I stopped at a truck stop that sold soft pecan. And man said he looked at them turtles and he had a fit. Oh, he sold a fit. And anyhow, I had a load on the truck and was going to sell.